she is. And I've got
True
Danielle
story.
Rich on Facebook Live for all of my friends to hear some nuggets. She's been featured in Promoter Magazine. She's one of the top entrepreneurs in the country. And I'm pretty honored to have you here tonight. So could you, I'm putting you on the spot here. We haven't talked about this, but you always talk about mindset and the importance of it. And so, and we're going to talk about the great product, Somaderm Gel. We'll talk about that for sure. But first, I'd like to get people some, like your top 3 nuggets of the importance of mindset, or what the top 3 nuggets that you could share on that topic. Can I put you in the spot and do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
First, I have to apologize. My voice is a little off. I was sick for about 4 days with a wicked sinus infection, and I like to get these things out of the way. So I'm one and done. That's it for the winter. That's why I don't like living up north. But I got my butt kicked, and I'm back in action. This is the first time I'm up and around. I literally was in bed for a few days, just fever, the whole 9. So
scratchy throat, sinus deal.
Scratchy throat, sinus, cough, like up at night, coughing all night. Just so not fun.
Right.
My counter looked like, a pharmaceutical with all my homeopathic remedies and my oregano oil, my apple cider vinegar and all my stuff. And then I ended up going on an antibiotic. So, hey, when you need it, you need it. So I'm back in action. I didn't want to let Brent down, but we're just super excited. So the top 3 things for mindset. One is you can't just speak out a declaration. I used to think declarations were, quite frankly, I thought they were BS. And now I can tell you why, because the science behind declarations are you just can't speak out what you want to see happen. You have to speak it as if it's happening, and then you have to believe you've received it before you will. It's the science of manifestation. And I've done a lot of studying. I've spoken all over the country. Actually, I've spoken out of the country, I can say. I've spoken in Panama. I've spoken in different countries, but mostly in the U.S., excuse me, about how you can actually, I just got off of, Brent, I don't know if you know this, but for an hour now, I've been I was just on a medical panel. I'm not a physician, but I was speaking with several physicians on a panel that we just did for the gel, talking about the science behind our gel and how it helps with, in regards to brain chemistry and what it can do for balancing out your brain and the hippocampus. We're talking about all that good stuff.
Wow.
And so
awesome.
They brought me on as a speaker, and I was pretty humbled and honored to be on, because I'm not a physician. However, I was able to give my story of what it's done for me in balancing out me hormonally, and what my results have been I'll be 44 this week, and what it's done for me with perimenopause, and what it's done for my physical body, as well as what it's done for me in balancing out my hormones. When your hormones are balanced, guys, your body can do so much more. You can create a momentum in your life. You can literally gain your vitality back. So we were just talking about trauma and what goes on in your body, the biochemistry, how your adrenals start to crap out as you get older from too much stress, how we live in an environment of stress and cortisol is too high and your adrenal, functioning goes way down. And so you can live in a body full of fatigue at a very young age. And what I've learned using this gel, and now I'm 11 months, next month will be, this month, December 22nd of this month will be a year.
Wow.
That I've been literally using this gel, and my life has completely changed. Physically, I have changed physically in ways I could not have imagined. Emotionally, financially, you name it, the gel has changed my life. So I just was saying, someone was saying, so what are you doing for your birthday this week? And I'm like, birthday's a birthday. And I said, you know what though? It's the first birthday in years where I can say I'm truly happy. There's
Awesome.
a difference between though happiness based on how much money you make or how good your life is. No, I feel a genuine happiness and contentedness. And a lot of that is connected to how much physically my body has been able to rejuvenate and rebalance and restore.
Right.
And now that I know that, I'm literally feeling excited about the next year where I can share with more and more people on how to get balanced out. We don't just have HGH in our gel, right? We don't just have real HGH. We have 30 plus raw botanicals. Those 2 doctors were just speaking about the power behind those raw botanicals. They were also speaking about the power behind the thyroidinum and the glandular supranalis, which is the adrenal and the thyroid support that go hand in hand with microdosing of HGH. And our HGH is 191 plant-based amino acids. So it is a powerful homeopathic brew that you rub on twice a day, 5 days a week, and you can really start to do some balancing of your body, which does so much for you. And yes, it's exploded. This company's going nuts. I've never seen anything like it.
Yep.
So my three things are: declare it, believe it that it's yours, right? You have to believe it, and then you have to learn the science behind how to manifest a better life. I lived in a place of not understanding why my life wasn't good for so many years. My mind was diseased, and if you get your thought life right, everything, where the mind goes, the man follows. If your mind is right, you start to learn to profess things that you'd like to see happening, because your thoughts today create your tomorrow. I'm sorry, if you don't believe it, start reading about it. There's hundreds of thousands of books. And if you don't want to read, get a podcast on the science of neuropsychology and neuroplasticity and how your brain creates new neural pathways with every good or bad thought.
Wow.
And so there's some really cool stuff to learn, and we're going to do more about that.
Awesome.
I was just contacted by a pretty big university in Providence. I don't want to say it yet. Okay. About speaking at their college about the science of thought. And I fell over. I was like, me? You want me to speak? Danielle Rich, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, we want you to be one of our speakers. And you know what, if I can help kids that are, or college age kids that are starting to, you know, move on into adult life and really live right, I would have loved to know this information and had this knowledge as a 20-something or even a teen, to learn that my thoughts create my world, and that I can choose joy, I can choose peace. And then on top of that, there are things that you cannot do for yourself, that the biochemistry in your body can get messed up over the years of too much stress, too much trauma, too much coffee, you know, too much whatever, you know, maybe you smoke, maybe you drink, maybe you do too much in excess of whatever. Sure. And that you need support for on a level, on a biochemistry level. And that means you want to go in with those herbs, you want to go in with that adrenal support and that thyroid support, and naturally help balance your body out. So what I couldn't do for myself with the raw juicing and the thinking well and the sleeping better, I was able to do, the gel was able to be the catalyst and to kind of fill the gap. So if you're over 30 and you're watching, you are hormonally imbalanced. Fact. I don't care who you are. You can be the healthiest person. You can tell me you lift weights and eat right. You're going to be deficient in human growth hormone. Your human growth hormone is what speaks to all your other hormones. When your human growth hormone starts to come into a homeostasis, it starts to speak to all the other hormones and tells them, hey, let's balance out. Right. Once you start to balance out, your body can do what it used to do. It's not the gel doing it. It's your body. The gel gets your body into a balance, and your balanced body can start to function better.
That's good
and
stuff.
And that's what we're about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to know why everybody, and we have over 800 physicians now selling our gel. Yep. We have so many doctors. I mean, I was literally on with just 2 doctors now, and I'm this normal lay person who, you know, I'm a mindset speaker. I'm a public speaker. Who cares? I'm just Danielle Rich. I'm an average girl with above average ambition. I'm a go-getter, right? But I don't have a medical license. Therefore, I'm on this panel going, are you sure you need me? And they're like, yeah, we want to hear from you. Wow. How it's helped your life. And I just talked about what it's done for me. And it was an amazing, I'll get you that link, Brent, and you can post it. Thank you. For anyone. But go ahead. Anything else you want to speak about? But those are the things that I've learned in life. I'm like, the gel is what literally gave me my vitality back. So yeah. I'm going to be kicking butt and taking names in 2019.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, and I think you mentioned like believing it. That's faith. It's like speaking it and having faith that it's actually going to happen. And I think and I think that's huge. And I think that's even, so I just had, I spoke to a homeopathic practitioner today as well. And so she's getting on the gel, she's using, and it's just like, the background of, and you mentioned it, the importance of those other ingredients and the importance that they play as a total is just incredible. Yes. And, you know, I was sharing a story that, and I hope this is okay, but a person I love a lot, well, it's my mom. So my mom just went and had her yearly checkup, had blood work done, and she's noticed some improvements. She's been on like 3 months, but all her blood work came back better. And it was just, so you become thankful in a different way when all of a sudden you're seeing improvements like that, and it's just really awesome. So it's just really cool. What else can you share with the folks who are, you know, maybe not sure about it, don't understand it exactly? What would you share with them who are watching and thinking, oh wow, okay, this is new, it's homeopathic, it's HGH? What's the top things to share with those folks?
It's simple science. There's not a person watching over 30 that hasn't beat up their body, because we live in especially in America, we live in a fast-paced environment with tons of endocrine disruptors, whether it's plastic bottles you're drinking out of, you know, that there's tons of things that are in the food that you're microwaving that leach into your food, what leaches into water, what leaches into the air. On top of those disruptors that are coming at you, you have all that we're doing on technology. We have a lot of EMFs and a lot of technological interference going on our system. Our HGH levels are much lower than they were 500, 800, 1,000 years ago, because they didn't have this kind of technology. So as much as we love technology, it does a lot to kind of break down our system to the point where our adrenals become completely fatigued. Too much coffee, too much stress, not enough sleep. People are going to bed with their phones right in front of their face. That's something I learned a couple of years ago. I actually try not to now use my phone right before bed, because it throws off your circadian rhythm. Well, guess what? The less you go into REM 4 and REM 5 sleep, the less your body can heal, rejuvenate, and restore. It speeds up aging. Right. So again, like a lot that I'm learning is that, yes, you want to eat a lot of vegetables and try to make sure you don't have a lot of pesticides in the foods you're eating, and you want to read labels, and you want to be smart, and you want to make good decisions. You can't just have one product that's this, like one of the doctors said tonight, there is no panacea. You're not just going to rub a gel on and your whole life gets better and you turn into Barbie and Ken, you know, or Ken, not Barbie and Ken. You're not going to, that doesn't happen. However, if you feel like you have this 100-pound weight on your back and the wind is in front of you instead of behind you, like it was for me last year before I got on the gel, the only thing that's going to give you momentum and get you out of bed and get you hiking again and running again and living again and dancing again. I start ballroom dancing this week. I can't wait. I haven't done that in years. My ballroom dancing shoes are downstairs.
Nice.
And I'm so excited to start this week, because that was one of my passions. I danced for years, and then I got into ballroom dancing and life got in the way. Well, life gets in the way for all of us. And guys, the clock is ticking. You don't know when your time is up. You got to live to the fullest. But if you feel your vitality is down, your fatigue is up, your stress level is up, you feel jittery, you don't feel balanced, you're not living each day to the fullest, one of the key things you can look at is adding in the gel and bring it to your physician. Lots of physicians, we have over 800 physicians selling it now. We'll have many more. We're only a year old. The product is 15 years old, but our company is a year old. And we've done, you know, we're a $120 million company now. I think the product works. I mean, if you need to hear it anymore, hello, it works. If you don't believe it, try it. You get, you know. Give me a break. When people say, does it work? I'm like, I don't know. Our sales are record breaking, but okay, it doesn't work. So, but you've got to understand, you can do as much as you want with your food and your exercise, but sometimes you need to get something to give you your vitality back and get you into balance. And that's what happened for me. My story isn't that I was working out and eating right and started the gel. I was depressed. I was sleeping all the time. I wasn't feeling good enough to start those things. I started the gel. That got me feeling so good. By my 9th week, then I started thinking about eating right. By week 10, I was like, you know what? Maybe soon I'm going to start going for walks, and I'm going to start, you know, doing some treadmill workouts again. And then I felt good enough, because I was sleeping better, I was looking better, I was feeling better, I was having so many results from the gel itself that it spawned me to do amazing things. And yeah. Now I'm living life like I did in my 20s, and it doesn't suck.
And who doesn't say that? I mean, I was just at my daughter's. It was bring your dad to practice tonight. So I was with my daughter practicing ballet and watching her. But it was interesting because you hear several comments, people saying, "Oh man, don't you wish you could have their energy?" Like, well, what if you could have a little bit more energy? What would you do with it?
Stamina, energy, recovery. Oh, I don't know, Brent, if you saw my post, but my trainer, who is a Body for Life champion.
I did.
750,000 people that year that he, what do you call it, entered the contest. He won. Still getting over this cold. So he stood up and he said at our event in Connecticut, his people are seeing 3 times faster results on the gel.
It's incredible. It works. You got to try it.
He's been doing this 20 years.
Well, he's one of the top people in his in his industry as
Yes.
well. I remember, so this is an awesome story, and I don't want to keep it short, but I could keep you on here for hours, but uh, I don't want to. But as you got your energy, you started eating better because you felt better. Then all of a sudden you wanted to get a trainer, and of course, and now I feel like I know you a little bit because Danielle does everything top notch. So she goes out and finds the best to finish this. And thank you, Danielle, if you can hear me, or if you're on, or anyone's on there. Thank you for coming on, sharing with everyone your passion, your story, and we will do this again someday. I look forward to meeting you. Thanks, everyone. Oh, you do hear me. Oh, you can hear me? Is Danielle still there? If anyone's going to comment, maybe maybe I just lost Danielle. Maybe I can bring her back on to finish this. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Terry. Cheryl, thank you. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Pam, Pam, you can no, she's not on, but I am. I don't see her. Okay. I think it said low connectivity, so I'm thinking I somehow lost her. We lost her. Okay. All right. Well, everyone, good night. Any questions? Throw a comment. Throw a like. Um, throw a question out. We'll answer all those questions, and we'll put some other comments on there. Thanks for joining tonight. Have a good night. Bye bye.